Hello everyone and welcome back to 100 videos about SEO. Today is day 6 of 100 and I'm going to be talking about some of the weekly updates and news in the SEO industry, and specifically for this video we're just going to be going through week of the 8th of August, some of the major updates. We're going to talk a little about Google Search Console recommendations, Bing search algorithm updates, and a little bit about Microsoft's ad revenue. But for today, we're going to first talk about Google Search Console recommendations. So this has been a pretty big rollout where Google Search Console now offers recommendations in the overview tab, and really it gives you some optimization tips based on, indexing, crawling, serving data, search suggestions. This feature that Google's rolled out aims to really help website owners improve organic visibility by prompting or suggesting actions like you might say adding sitemaps, using structured data, optimizing your content, and really, although it's still very experimental, I think this could be really big for smaller websites, because a lot of the website owners who start out and they get set up in Search Console, they don't really know how to use it. And this often leads to a misuse, which then leads to them completely discarding Search Console and not really understanding the role it plays in your SEO and observing and analyzing the data. So that's Google Search Console recommendations update. Now, the next update is Google updates around combating deepfakes. Now, this is absolutely huge, but basically Google has detailed pretty big updates to its algorithms, and what it's trying to do is lower the rankings and basically completely blacklisting or penalizing deepfake sites and making it way easier for them to observe, confirm and remove from search results deepfake websites that ultimately have copied someone else's content or very similar to somebody else's content. Now, the definition of deepfake websites is like a whole league on its own, and although websites that appear exactly the same as others, copying, reusing, and recreating content from existing websites, this with AI, unfortunately, is happening more and more. And like adding AI to the mix has just made this accelerate over time, and content creation now is so easy because of AI. And it's ultimately forced Google and other search engines to deploy technology to preserve and maintain the searcher user experience. So the goal of Google is to continue to create a really positive search UX or a search user experience that doesn't encourage the user to go outside of the search engine. So that's why they would obviously try to create technologies or frameworks around observing and removing these deepfake sites, or these ultimately copied and paste content, which is obviously in Google's policies is considered inappropriate, and of course is not considered positive in the search engines. So volatility in Google search rankings. So this last week we've seen obviously some fluctuations in Google search rankings as always, but I think these bigger volatility updates are due to Google's algorithm, you might say changes and updates. And I think the most important aspect of this is just stay vigilant, monitor your fluctuations, measure those low lows and high highs, and just kind of see if you can build a better picture of, you might say, what those fluctuations look like. So as you have them in the future, you kind of know what to expect. Now, the last update in news for today is Bing. Now, this isn't exactly related to SEO, but it is related to Microsoft generally, and their, you might say, advertising and content. But the Q4 of 2024 earning reports for Microsoft do show pretty positive, and marking a pretty significant rebound over against Q3. And obviously the overall revenue of Microsoft has grown substantially with I think a 15 or 18% increase. And this again is, I think, definitely surpassed earning expectations. But the key here is that it's important because the revenue that Microsoft can bring in can be reinvested into the search experience, into improving search as a whole. And most importantly, we've seen a lot of updates in Bing search, you might say search user experience. And I do think that as they increase their market share, although Google is still considered number one, and I don't think we'll probably see that change in the near future. But if we do, I think Microsoft really growing and adding advertising revenue is important. Anyway, for the sake of this video, I'm not going to go any deeper into this topic, but it's nice to see Bing growing, Microsoft growing, and again, more search engines that have compete for search impressions. Obviously, searcher user experience, I do think is positive for SEO, for the community, and for online visibility. So that is all of the recommendations for today, and obviously updates. I look forward to our next week's news article. And if you don't have access, you just go over to jasonpittet.com/news, and you can subscribe to all of my updates every single week. So, thanks guys. I'll see you on the next video, and thanks for following me with these 100 video challenge.